that we had on that, and our thanks to all of those folks who helped us out. Also, if you have not checked out, and you're a wrestling fan, if you haven't checked out the photos and videos that we have on our website on KNUJ.net, State Wrestling Tournament section, they are all posted there yet, and I think you'll enjoy them. Our video and photo crew, Abby and Lexi and Don and Lars did a great job, and so check that out. I think you'll enjoy that as well. Want to recognize, of course, that Tracy Milroy Ballatin, Westbrook Walnut Grove, was a state tournament entrant team. We always at our banquets like to mention who our state tournament teams were. We don't want to pass by Bold. Bold's dance team made it in both jazz and high kicks, so our congratulations to the Bold dance team, Coach Karen Smith and those folks out there, and to Tracy Milroy Ballatin, Westbrook Walnut Grove, Carl Campbell and his crew over there. Another solid season for the Panthers, and congratulations. Well, that gets us down to our Wrestlers of the Week, and man, what a crew. 13 state place winners, 4 state champions. Wow. Okay, we had a really good group. 4 state champions. So what do we do there? Are we naming 4 Wrestlers of the Year? No, we're not going to do that. But we did break it down. We think we've got a pretty nice selection or 2 to make. We have 2 wrestlers that are seniors and had unblemished records this year. The Guillotine recognized them also as the Perfection Award, wrestlers who go completely unbeaten. You're not going to have ties anymore, but unbeaten on the season. And we have 2 of them this year. The first one, a gentleman who took second in the state last year, has been up at the big dance several times. And this year he's a state champion from Tracy Milroy Ballatin, Westbrook Walnut Grove, Trevor Eisfeld. Trevor Eisfeld. Our congratulations to him and Coach Carl Campbell. And Carl will join us in just a little bit. Our second one from Redwood, Cedar Mountain, Redwood Valley, Cedar Mountain, and it is Caleb Hayes, heavyweight wrestler for Redwood, Cedar Mountain and the Redwood Valley team. Paul Carlson, the coach there, and we'll talk to Paul in just a little bit as well. Both guys unbeaten on the season, and these guys took on some of the best of the best. I saw both of them wrestle. We covered the Redwood Riot Wrestling Tournament. Saw them both wrestle there. Took on some really good competition, and they did so good. And at the state tournament, they did a lot of great things as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about those. So I think, first of all, we're going to talk to Carl Campbell. Carl's on the phone with us right now. Carl, are you there?
I am, Jim.
All right. Carl, great talking with you again. Congratulations again on your team's 4th place finish at the state tournament. Some really good teams in Class A, and your team being there again. Really nice club. But let's talk about Trevor Eisfeld and the season he had. Man, I mean, you know, you go through in a team, and you wrestle team and individual, and you pick up 7 wins. That's a lot that you're putting on a wrestler, and Trevor really came through well on that, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's been doing that for several years for us. So, yeah, people don't realize how tough that is to wrestle the 3 on Thursday in the team competition, then come back and start it all over against top-notch competition. It's not just about the physical aspect of it, but the mental side and the emotional side of getting up for each match is extremely tough. And Trevor wrestled, I believe he wrestled all 3 of the duels on Thursday in the state tournament at 195, and then you know, obviously he wrestled in the 182 division for the individual part of it. So that's a tough deal.
Carl, I've said before, your practice room must really be something, because Eisfeld's in there, Paplo, another wrestler of the week. You've got other good ones up there as well, but that's got to be just a Donnybrook in the practice room.
Well, you and I had a chance to visit, I think it was late January, after we faced Blue Earth in New Ulm, and we talked about that a little bit. You're absolutely right. You know, part of the reason we've had the team and the individual success that we've had is because of that competition in the room. You know, and Chase and Trevor are daily workout partners, but part of the reason Sawyer had the success he did is we over the last couple of years have forced him to jump into that mix. And quite honestly, for Sawyer, anytime we're competing outside of the room, that's a day off for him compared to wrestling Jason Trevor. So it's been fantastic. It's it's made our team tough, and we're very, very proud of these three guys that were up for Wrestler of the Week with KNUJ.
Thank you, Carl. And you had some other place winners at the state also individually, didn't you?
Yeah, we had 5 entrants, and we came away with 5 medalists. You know, the 3 that we're talking about now, along with Aiden Horner at 120. He finished 4th. And Levi Ellingson at 126 finished 6th. And to come off that dual tournament on Thursday, and then for all these guys to shine throughout that individual tournament was just fantastic, and we're very proud of all 5 of those guys.
We're going to get to Paul Carlson in just a second. One last thing, Carl Campbell, coach of the Panthers. Carl, you're aware of this, I know, but the Guillotine put it in their last issue. Team scores by individual results. And we all know that Long Prairie Grey Eagle Browerville won the state team title beating ACGC. But if you went by individual scoring, first place team would have been Tracy Milroy Ballatin, Westbrook Walnut Grove with 84 points, ACGC with 80, and then Long Prairie Grey Eagle Browerville with 75.5. And I'll put a plug in, Sibley East from our area would have finished 7th with 62 points. They had 2 state champs and a 4th place finish. So anyway, that's not how you crown the team champion, but it's kind of neat to know how it would have been had they done the points that way.
Yeah, too bad it isn't 1960 something, huh? Yeah, it's kind of another feather in the cap for our program, and yeah, it's something that we obviously have noticed. I'm still a proponent of the dual meet system, and it's been in place since I believe the mid-1970s or whatever. But very, very proud of our guys, because a lot of the teams you're rattling off to finish behind us had more guys in the tournament individually. You know, Long Prairie, ACGC, I think they both had 10 or 11 guys. We got it done with 5. So that's a credit to the 5 again that came back and battled all the way through. And obviously with Trevor getting our first state champion was just the icing on the cake. So really, really proud of our program and our guys and our everything we've accomplished this year. Very grateful and humble to be part of it.
All right, Carl, just hang on a little bit. And we gave a little extra time there simply because of the Panthers getting to state, and we always like to honor our state tournament teams. Paul Carlson is with us. Paul, you on the line?
I'm here.
All right. Paul, Jim Bartle's here, and let's talk a little bit about Caleb Hayes. I've watched Caleb wrestle for 3 years. He's been a wrestler of the week for us before also. Is placed in the state, I think, 3 years in a row. And this year, man, at the Redwood Riot, toughest weight class there was the heavyweight division, in my opinion. And he did the job there, beat the kid from Adrian. I think it was in the finals, maybe 5-0, a really good kid. And he went on to have a great tournament and state tournament. While he actually was behind in one match for a little while, he came back and just kept sticking people and having great victories. What an awesome state tournament for Caleb Hayes.
Yeah, after last season, Caleb put a lot of time in. In the off season, he wrestled freestyle Greco, was a part of the Minnesota national team for juniors, and did really well individually. He was 1 match away from freestyle All-American at Fargo. He beat 1 or 2 nationally ranked kids at heavyweight, and then wrestled at the JJ Classic, which is just a preseason tournament, and won that. And he really, wrestling, there's not a lot of kids that say wrestling's their favorite sport, but he's one of them, and it shows because he put a lot of time in the off season, and then had one goal in mind all year was to be a state champion, and it was a pretty magical moment for that to happen.
Strong, quick,
yeah,
great balance.
Yeah, I get the pleasure of wrestling Caleb every day in practice, and This was the first year where I honestly I couldn't beat him, and and that you don't see that very often where a high school kid is almost unbeatable in the practice room by someone who's older or seasoned, I guess. But yeah, he's just after that first week of practice, we knew that he was the state tournament champ, state champ, or kind of bust season for him.
Yeah, I think we have a picture on our website, but also in the Guillotine wrestling paper after he wins and he gets up and the old muscles are flexed. And this kid he's a strong kid. He's a good kid. I interviewed him, I know, after the Redwood Riot as well. He's a pleasure, and I believe going to St. Cloud State, correct? Going to wrestle?
Yep. Yeah, he's going to go to St. Cloud. Got a scholarship or a partial scholarship to go wrestle there. He's going to wrestle heavyweight for him. And you're right, he's an excellent kid. He's one of those kids that everyone kind of just gravitates around. He's well spoken of in the community. He's well spoken of outside of the community, even in the wrestling scene. He's got a lot of friends on other teams. He's always a great sport, and he's a great person to be the poster of your wrestling team.
Comes off the farm too, I believe, right?
Say that again.
I think he's farm boy too, isn't he?
No, he's not a farm boy. He actually, his dad is a concrete business.
Okay.
Pretty sure he doesn't do much with them. He just spends a lot of time in the weight room. He's just been he's one of those naturally gifted athletes that doesn't just rely on his athletic talents, but he works extremely hard to improve them.
A great one. Caleb Hayes, Wrestler of the Year. Trevor Eisfeld, Wrestler of the Year. Paul and Carl, congratulations on those athletes and what they've done and their recognition into our archives as Wrestlers of the Year for KNUJ. Thanks to both of you for being with us on the show tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, very good.
Thanks for what your radio station does for us.
Well, we appreciate that. Thanks for your kind words. All right, Tom Wheeler, we're going to send it back your way, and we're going to be wrapping up our Player of the Year radio show in just a little bit, Tom.
Right after this. Player of the Year radio show continues, but first, let's stop out to Wheelboard Chevrolet, Westridge Road, New Orleans.